Let's suppose it's a Monday afternoon and you're having a one-on-one online class with a teenage girl. Your warm-up activity was none other than the question, repeated ad nauseum: how was your weekend? After having concluded that both your student and you spent the weekend indoors, binge-watching movies and series due to the bad weather, a really smooth way to move into some hardcore experiential learning and vocab-heavy input would be a Chat GPT text RPG game. What's that? I'm going to explain in this video and also give you ideas of how you can use the text provided by the robot to follow up the activity. Here's your prompt, that is your instruction to ChatGPT. As you can see, ChatGPT now starts writing your story, and at a certain point, it offers you 3 options. At this point, it is your student who chooses which option to follow. For that, they have to carefully read both the story part and the options. Okay, but how does that help your student? The first thing is that using ChatGPT is still an experience for learners of all ages. Engagement is granted from now on. Also, it provides an opportunity to read for a reason. To choose from the options, they are motivated to read and understand the story. What if the story has unknown vocabulary? Then it's time to collect emergent language. At this stage, I like to use this nifty little Chrome extension called Immersive Reader. I select the text and right-click the Chrome extension, and what it does, it focuses on the text, it reads it out and follows the words. Here I simply give my students an opportunity to read and listen to the text again. I can provide them with the definitions of the words and phrases, possibly unknown. We can collect these vocabulary items and practice some of them later. After a while, the text RPG game comes to an end, and it's time for another mission for ChatGPT. Here's your new prompt. See what it does. Well, it can turn the text-based RPG game into a proper little story. It's amazing. Finally, it's a literary piece. But luckily, ChatGPT is not perfect. So we will have differences between our game and the new text. Isn't it a perfect opportunity to ask our student to spot a few differences between the game and the new text? It's an online class over Zoom. You can just give them control over your screen so that they can scroll up and down. They can simply borrow language from the written text and express the differences in speaking. From now on, it's up to you what you can do with your text. You can use it in many different ways. Now let's see what kind of revision activities you can create out of the same story game with very little preparation outside of the lesson. How about a multiple choice reading task? Just as a reminder in your next class with the very same student. Here's your next prompt, and now I would suggest that you should copy the story under your prompt. Well, ChatGPT is pretty good at this, but you will need to review the questions as sometimes it makes mistakes. Once the multiple choice questions are done, you can easily turn them into a quizzes or a Kahoot quiz. I will show you how in another video, perhaps. Vocabulary work is never enough, right? You cannot go wrong by asking ChatGPT to compile a glossary that you can later import in Quizlet, for example. So, here's your prompt. As for speaking, how about creating some role cards based on a story for the next session? Here's a prompt, let's see how it works. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, guys. My student will not receive these cards very well. I think she needs more specific tasks to accomplish. If the instructions are vague, the learning experience is poor and motivation levels plummet. Let's just refine that prompt. Not there yet, I'm afraid. Well, a final prompt maybe. Well, yeah, it looks much, much better. That will do, I think. From the initial text RPG game, we created a story, a multiple choice reading quiz, a glossary, and some roleplay cards. I think it's enough for a few more lessons, where the content is or can be customized to your student. In my experience, they are quite excited about how ChatGPT works. They can have a say in the contents, they are motivated to absorb new vocabulary, and I hope I was able to help or inspire you. I'm Barbie Boeitash, EFL teacher, teacher trainer, and tech mentor, and Chat GPT enthusiast.